This is Giacomo, and you're listening to the Stretch It Out podcast.
Yeah! Oh, shoot.
Surprise, surprise. Giacomo makes his first appearance on the Stretch It Out podcast. Welcome back, everybody.
Our fourth listener.
Listener number 4. So what's up, everybody?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podcast Land on Wednesday afternoon.
Yay! Hump day.
Quarantine Podcast Land.
Yeah, we were supposed to be there Monday night, but didn't happen.
Some difficulties with me.
It's all good. It's all good. I just got to take a little jab at you here and there. So what are we talking about today? Well, before we talk about what we want to talk about, because we always talk about other stuff that we don't really want to talk about before we actually talk about what we want to talk about. So that's normal. I think we should keep that going.
Say that one more time for the listeners, Nick.
And we just lost them. We lost them all. I'm just kidding.
Dropped off.
They're dropping like flies. I can see it right here. No, before we do that, because we didn't really get to catch up much. How are you doing? How's things in Audrey's world? How's the lockdown been? Give us the whole catch us up.
It's difficult because it's the same thing every day. That's all it is.
Same routine.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're doing a lot of working out, which is good.
Yeah.
And you're staying busy there, but that only takes up like such a small portion of the day.
It does. And then, I think for like, around like pretty much, well, right now it's like 2:20 my time. So right now is about the time where it's like, I start to slow down from whether it's running errands. I feel like I'm going to the grocery store every other day. You know, today I got my government check, and I think everybody else did too. So the store was packed today. But yeah, it's like working out. My whole routine is working out, catching up with friends. You know, I got friends all over the country. So we try and FaceTime a little bit. I got like 3 friends, so, you know.
They're just spread out.
Exactly. I think I have like a few good friends here in Vegas, but obviously we're all in quarantine. We're trying to social distance ourselves, so.
That's right. You're doing a good job of that, hopefully. I
work out by myself. I told you I work out with my friend Jenna, the one in New York. So her and I will work out via, FaceTime.
That's kind of
nice.
cool,
yeah.
I guess, because you have somebody to talk to, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, there's got to be a lot of awkward silence, right? Are you listening to music, or how do you do that?
No, she'll play music on her end, so I can hear. We'll do it like through my computer. Oh,
that's cool. So you're listening to it through your device. Okay, I get it. That's pretty cool.
But I will say, like, something that like I started to continuously do was my friend Maria, the one that I live with, her and I go running every morning at between like 8:30 and 9 a.m. And if anybody sees my Strava, you can see it's like, she lives in like a pretty small neighborhood. It's a gated community, and we just run like in and out of the streets until we hit like our marker, which our goal is 2 miles a day. So
it looks like a bunch of scribbles back and forth on the Strava map.
Like 4 times back and forth on the same street. That's exactly what it looks like.
Really thick red lines.
Saying hi to the same neighbor. That's like a lot of neighbors are in their garage with their kids playing, and I'm saying hello like 6 times throughout my run because I just keep doing laps.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I guess to say something new is that I set myself a goal for I want to increase my mile time. So.
And what do you want to do? You want to do a mile in like 20 minutes or something?
19 minutes, actually. No, I'm kidding. No, my goal is to do, so back in high school, it's quite a big goal because
that's a long ways away for some of us.
I would just want to at least, my main goal is 6:30, but if I can get my mile down to under 7 minutes, I'll be so happy with myself. Because in high school, I used to do about 6:30 a mile. And I was doing cross country, so that was what we would do, like 3 to 5 miles in a race or something.
Some goals. You got some goals there.
Yeah, but I was like, why not? What else am I going to do? You know?
No, I think that's cool. I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
I admire you for that. I wish that I was working towards something like that, but I'm not. not when it comes to running.
Don't get me wrong, guys. I hate it, but I've got nothing else to do, so I'll do it. But what about you, Nick?
Who knows? I might get back into running. You never know.
See?
I've not been doing anything too exciting, just working, which I guess is kind of exciting these days. So I should take that back. But
Yeah.
I like the fact that I'm working, and I've been really just kind of staying focused on that, and excited to get to podcast land. I've been wanting to get back to podcast land since we ended the last episode, to be honest. But yeah, just kind of doing my thing. Nothing real crazy. Me and the guys have been playing Fortnite. So that's been fun.
Don't you go on not TikTok, but you go onto Twitch, right?
Yeah. I've streamed us. So I mean, I get it though. Like I don't even know how people stumble across live streams because I'm not real big into it. But anyways, we decided to go ahead and just stream it anyway, right? So like, hey, we're playing and hanging out and having a couple of drinks. Not every night, but sometimes when we're playing, we're having a couple of drinks and just chatting, and we figured we would stream it. So, but yeah, we've streamed it a few times, but we haven't had anybody watch it yet. But
is there like I know you had sent it to like the family,
but it's fun.
But is it like how does somebody find you on Twitch? I guess.
I think they just do. When they go on to Twitch, they just search like Dad's Fortnite.
Is that the name of the group?
I think so. Yeah, Chris set it up for us.
Middle-aged Dad's
thanks,
Fortnite.
Chris. Yeah, something like that. I think it's Dad's Fortnite, but it's cool. I'll share it with you guys when next time we're all going on, because I think there's I could set it up so that I could see everyone if you're chatting too while we're playing. So just a different way to communicate, and kind of a different land, right? Just like this is podcast land. Fortnite land, or video game land, is pretty cool. So me and the guys have been having a good time doing that, playing with Fortnite, and playing with the kids when they're on Fortnite, which is pretty cool. So, and
I'm sure the kids destroy all of you guys.
The boys are super good. Yeah. So, and they always want to play, right? They always want to play with the dads. So it's always kind of hard because all the dads want to play with the dads. Right. And then all the boys, when dads are playing, all the boys want to play with dads. Right. So, but it's fun. Gives us something to do. So I haven't been able to play as much this week as I'd like to, but still, it's just cool knowing that we have that, that we can all connect like that. Me and my friends, which is pretty cool.
Virtual connection.
So we're doing that. What's that?
Virtual connection.
Yes.
It is.
It's virtual hangouts.
Do you do it like every night, or just weekends, or certain days?
Just however it happens, I think they've played a few times this week where I haven't been able to jump on, but a few times, probably. We just started doing it a week or so ago, but it's been cool. It's been fun. Oh, something else that we did this week that I didn't do it. I didn't do any of it actually, but Matthew across the street, he installed a new shelf for Courtney in our little mud room where they have the washer and dryer.
That's nice.
She painted the whole room. Yeah, she got down on it, painted the room, and did a bunch of made it look really nice in there. You know how Courtney does that.
Mm-hmm.
She makes things look nice. And then, so she had this really nice idea for the shelf and stuff. So as Matthew put it all together, made it look all nice, did a really good job for us, and really hooked us up. So she's all pumped about that.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why I brought it up because it has nothing to do with what I've done. But I guess it affects. I was at the end of the list of things that I've done, so it was reaching for something else, and that's what I came up with. So there you go.
And now you guys know they got a brand new mud room with a shelf.
Yes, hope you guys enjoyed that fun fact. Fun fact for me this episode. So,
but hey, good deal of the week. Shout out to Matthew for installing the shelf.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a really good guy. Yeah, he literally just charged us the materials, which
that's awesome.
I was like, this guy, and that's what he does for a living. Like the guy's he's just got a huge heart. So,
well, actually, now that you bring that up, I got a small shout out to Marcelo's best friend. I'm not sure if they listen to this, but Victor or Hannah, if you're listening, shout out to them. because we went over to Victor and Hannah's house to drop off some stuff, and they actually gave Dad, I don't know what it's called, but it's like something that you would hang. It's like a metal sheet that you would put on like the wall of your garage and then put little pegs in it so that you can hang stuff.
Oh, that's perfect for Dad.
Yeah. And so he gave him that and something else. I don't know how to describe it. Do you remember the box van? And at the end of the box van, it had that little thing. We would put rocks in it so it would hold
Are
rocks.
you talking about the box van? Because Dad actually did have a box van, an actual box van. But are you talking about the box van, the one and only?
The one and only box van.
Okay, so you're talking about the Nissan, the 80, what was that, a 1985 pickup
truck? That was a work truck?
Okay, so you're talking about that box van. Yes. Okay, so we'll have to make a note of that.
We should post a photo of the box van.
Exactly. We're going to have to make a note and bring everybody up to speed on the box van, because that's definitely a
Guys, this thing
that's worthy of its own episode, really.
This thing was famous, and everyone knew this truck.
Oh my gosh! I will find a picture. I will find a picture of that. Remind me, Audrey. I will find a picture and we will put it up on the Facebook. So I think that people are going to get a kick out of that.
Well, I know. Dad gave it to Chris.
I've got to have a picture.
I don't know if Chris painted it. I hope not, because it's got to have that original green.
No, I'm sure
color.
he didn't. I'm sure he didn't. Yeah, I'm sure he didn't.
But shout out to Victor and Hannah, because they were going to sell it, and I took a photo and I said, hey, my dad might be interested in buying this. And then Victor was like, if it's your dad, just go ahead and take it. And he's like, I wasn't going to sell it for much, but I thought that was really kind of them. Because they never even met Dad. But now they met him over FaceTime, because I had to FaceTime Dad to show him, because I didn't know what the stuff was called. And Dad's like, what is it? This, and this? And I'm like, I don't know the name of it. Let me just FaceTime you and show you.
Yeah, that's cool, though. Was Dad pumped about it?
Oh, yeah. He's excited. Now I have to drive it out to him.
That's so cool. It's so cool. I forget that you're so close to Dad that you can just drive to see him. Like, when I saw Dad, when we did our family Zoom call.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Happy Easter to everybody, right? Because that was just recently. Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, so we should probably, happy Easter, everybody. Hope everybody had a great Easter. But anyway, we did like a family call. I think we did ours on Saturday.
We did our Saturday.
We did our call, and I don't even know why it matters, but I'm bringing it up because when you say like how close you are to Dad, like I forget you can just drive and go see him. And like when I saw him on the call, I was like, oh my gosh, it was like I was looking at some like mythical creature from, that just seems so far away, and plus his hair blown in the wind and stuff,
Yeah, Dad.
But it was just like, dang, like I haven't seen him in so long. It's been too long. And then you're like, yeah, I got to go take him this thing. I'm like, yeah, it must be nice.
But to keep my dad, for people who don't know, my dad doesn't live like just 10 minutes down the street. It's about a 3-hour drive, but still.
It's a 3-hour drive.
Yeah. Maybe 2.5. No cops. Maybe
3 hours. We always just called it 3 to be safe. 3 hours is easy, but still 3 hours is not that bad.
It's really not.
So
I was thinking about maybe doing like just a day trip, driving down there, dropping it off, saying hi, still keeping social distancing because,
Absolutely.
I don't want to get them sick, especially if I'm coming from, the gas stations and filling up and stuff like that. So.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, cool.
It'll be another toy for Dad to be playing around with during his little quarantine days.
Well, congrats to you. Congrats to you, Father, on getting your that sweet gift, and shout out to what was it, Victor and Hannah?
Yes,
Victor and Hannah.
Victor and Hannah.
Shout out to y'all, Victor and Hannah. Appreciate you for being kind.
And another shout out to Victor, because he's a Metro police officer. And
2 shout outs.
He's out there protecting us every night.
Yeah, man. We do appreciate you, Victor. Thank you for that, man. Thank you. I don't think that you guys hear that enough, but hopefully you catch this episode and hear us genuinely, sincerely saying thank you to you for what you do.
I'm bowing to you. Thank you. Okay, so now that we've talked like how long about ourselves? A good 15 minutes?
No, it's not long enough. We're talking about ourselves.
I mean, I could keep going. Actually, no, I can't. I don't know. My other thing is I've been trying to tan. It's nice weather over here.
That's good. Taking advantage of the nice weather.
A lot of my friends, they're all in snow right now, and I'm over here in 80-degree weather. I love it. Well, I love
Nice.
that came out wrong. I love that I'm in 80-degree weather. I'm sad that
Yeah,
there's
it came out super
Yeah.
mean. Like, yeah, screw you guys.
I love it that you guys are in cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Yeah,
what I
sucks to
meant.
be you. So kind, so kind. So we're going to talk today. What number episode are we on? 13. 13. We've made it 13 episodes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Lucky
and
13.
we're gonna talk about hard work today. I think that's I think it's a good one to talk about. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of things that just in kind of thinking about it a little bit before the episode and some of my notes that I put down, I'm like, man, this is like something you could talk about really every day because it's that important. The problem is, well, there's a couple of different problems, right? And we're going to talk about some of those things, at least from our perspective. And we want to talk about how really understanding what hard work really is and what's behind it. When you put forth the effort to to put in the hard work that we're talking about, then it really can change everything for you.
Mhm.
Like quite literally, it can change everything for you, and we want to talk about that. So that and obviously we didn't have enough behind the topic that we thought we could fill it an entire hour. So we thought we'd fill the first 15 to 20 minutes with fluff, which I think mission accomplished. And so now we're going to start talking about how hard work changes everything. I'll start, Audrey. I always did this when I was younger, and still do it probably today. Just didn't realize that I did it, but I was always quitting things as soon as it got to that point where it felt like, okay, this is harder than I'm comfortable with, right? And then
Mhm.
I would just stop doing it. So just basically just quit, right? And there's a couple different ways you can look at that, but for me, I think most people would have looked at it and just been like, damn, Nick's a quitter, right? Like if I painted that picture for you, I've got enough in my life that I could do that, right? But I think the right perspective to have though is that I wasn't a quitter. I think I was good at quitting things that I probably wasn't really into, right?
Yeah.
So I think that there's some healthiness behind that. And I think it depends on how you look at it. But for me, when I look at things like, wow, for me, like I did probably quit some stuff that I wish I hadn't quit, that I wish I had stuck with. But looking at quitting, looking at stopping, hey, I'm gonna stop doing this thing in particular. I'm gonna stop doing that. Sometimes it's a good thing, and sometimes
Yeah.
it needs to just be redirected and applied to a different behavior, right? But I was always pretty quick to quit or want to quit if once it got a little bit uncomfortable, and I think that that's natural for most of us,
Yeah.
especially if it's not something that we really truly enjoy.
I think like if you're not passionate or if it's not something that's maybe as easily to pick up, it's easier to quit at that point.
Yeah, yeah, and that's not what I mean when I say like, okay, hard work changes everything. I think that hard work, that it's also got to be focused in the right areas towards the right things too, right? Because we can put a lot of hard work into something that we shouldn't be putting a lot of hard work into. We're capable of doing that too as human beings, right?
I have
But
I have this image in my head, and this is a very drastic image that's in my head. Is when you think about where hard work can take you, right? So this is something that I've always thought about is that you have so many people who put so much hard work and effort into things that maybe are against the law. And I always look at people who do these insane things where in my head I'm just thinking because I watch a lot of like those those murder documentaries.
right, yeah,
And you hear these
I was thinking of like graffiti artists, but yeah, okay, you're
okay.
totally like way
I'm
darker.
way darker.
Yeah,
Well,
okay,
like
I was like way shallow.
because there's like, when you watch these murder documentaries, some of them come up of like these guys were con artists and they like conned their whole life. And I'm like, wow, they put so much hard work and effort into fooling everybody. But I'm like, imagine if they would have just redirected all that focus and energy into
on the right things.
Yes, like going down a different path. It's they're think about it. Some of them are geniuses, but they just didn't apply themselves to the correct.
They just didn't have the right perspective.
Yeah, they needed this podcast to correct their perspective.
They didn't have the right. They didn't have the right perspective.
And that's
that makes
image.
Sense.
It's an image that I have in my head. That's a lot of times when I think about hard work, is that there's a path that you always choose when it comes to hard work, and it's like, where are you gonna focus all of that energy to?
Right. And I think that that's what we do a lot of times. Was we're not, like, I've heard people say, I'm lazy, and I think a lot of times I don't think it's that we're lazy. I think it's that we have so much in us that we do want to apply to certain things, and it's just finding the right things that we want to apply that energy to. And sometimes we just get used to just overthinking, and we just get comfortable with not doing things that even not doing things that we want to do sometimes. Right.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting how easy it is to flip that switch. Like, as soon as you make the decision to, okay, I'm going to do this thing, how quick that turns around. And then the hard work part, like you said, is always going to present itself in some form or fashion. And it doesn't matter what it is you're doing. The hard work part's going to show up in anything in life. But to your point, when that shows up and you're passionate about it, you love it, you enjoy it, it's an easy kind of maybe speed bump at best for you, or it's nothing. You just it doesn't even exist to you, right? Like, think about things that you're really passionate about, things that you love doing. I can tell you a great example with my son. He loves playing Fortnite, and he can play Fortnite for hours and hours, and it's very challenging, right? Sometimes some games and matches are probably easier for him, but some things are challenging. The reason he keeps playing it, even though maybe he's not doing as well as he'd like to sometimes, the reason he keeps playing it is because he enjoys it. Mm-hmm. And we're the same way as adults. There's things that we all really like to do and enjoy doing. And if you were to take something that you really enjoy and you're really good at, and try to explain it to somebody and teach them how to get as good as you are at this one thing that you're passionate about and good at, if that other person's not as passionate about it or doesn't love it as much as you do, it's going to be a lot harder. The hard work part is going to be really, really tough.
Yes. Because if Noah tried to teach me Fortnite right now, I think I'd honestly...
You're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead. You would die. I'm just kidding.
10 minutes, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go see what Courtney's doing. Mm-hmm. I would give up on it.
But if you enjoy it, right? If you enjoy that thing, and that's why it's so important. I think hard work has like this negative energy attached to it, always has, because it just seems bad, because you normally tie hard work to things you don't want to do. And I think that hard work's not getting a fair shot there. As a term, right? Hard work is important for all of us, but it's so much more important for us in when we apply it to the things that we really love doing. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important that we encourage everybody that's listening to find what that is, and just it's not hard work for you, but do those things that you love. And it actually makes it easier for you to make those other decisions when different opportunities come along or different things happen in your life that you're just like, you know what, I'm really not into that. Or I thought I was into this, I'm not into that anymore, I'm going to move on. It makes it easier for you to quit the things you need to quit doing and put your energy into things that do bring you some joy, bring you some value. And who knows what that is, right? I know for you, Audrey, a lot of it, exercise, you enjoy it. Obviously you don't enjoy sitting there doing it and sweating and working your butt off, but you enjoy the mental clarity that it brings you. You enjoy how it makes you feel, right?
Yeah.
So
I like the
So
after
that
effect.
enjoyment is what's going to help you get through the hard work part of it, right? When it's hard work, you think about those things. And, I think that's applicable for all of us. It's if you're avoiding hard work altogether, and some of us do that, are avoiding hard. And I'm not talking about like going to work every day. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about hard work that's focused on something that's going to benefit you. Hard work that's focused on something that's going to benefit you. Okay, so yes, hard work in the workplace is important. I'm talking, hard work in general, but very much I'm talking about hard work where you are right now. What are you doing? What are you putting hard work into in your life that's bringing you value, bringing you joy? You know what I mean? So much of us, for me, there's things that I like just doing this with you. I love this. Like, this is fun. I enjoy it. And so it's easy for me, right? There's really no like hard work factor, but I think there's going to come times where we're going to be like, dang, it's going to be a little more difficult for us to do, hey, we got to get this episode in. It's going to be tougher for us to record some weeks than others. Right. But it's not going to be like hard work really for us because we enjoy it. It's fun.
Yeah.
And I think everybody needs to have that.
And for me, I think the hardest part about this podcast is for me, I don't know about you, is honestly,
finding time.
No, it's not even, well, I guess that is in a formal way, but I think the hardest thing is social media for me. Like, I'm still looking on Facebook. I'm still trying to stay up to date with that. And I don't know why I'm struggling so much with Facebook, but
you mean like with our social media?
Yeah, just to stretch it out podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm already
but it's still fun.
Yeah. I mean, I still enjoy it, but it's hard work in a way of like, okay, let me do some research on certain things.
I get it.
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
get it.
You and I were on the phone, like last week, I think it was, right? And we were trying to set up the links between the accounts and figuring all that.
Yeah, that took us a little while.
Yeah. So
that took us a little while. But we figured it out, though, and we got
exciting. It. So, I mean, I'm not even that great, I think, on my personal social media. You can tell when I call it going into dark mode, because it's like I don't post anything. I don't put anything on my story just because, in my personal opinion, I don't feel like I've done anything exciting throughout that day. So I don't post them,
right.
But
yeah, and I think we're going to get better at that. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So we're putting in the hard work for that. At least we both are, because like I said, you and I were on the phone for a little bit figuring that out.
Yeah. I know that was kind of like, dang, this is harder than we thought, trying to figure out how to tie it all in. But once we got it, we're like, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
But that's how it is, right? That's what we're talking about with hard work in general. It's always intimidating at first, right? And then once you're doing it, once you're in that zone, it's nothing really. I mean, you're just being a human, and right. But hard work is just, there's so many benefits to it. And again, like I said, thinking about it, not in that negative context that most of us put it in when you hear it, but thinking about it more so as it applies to the things you love doing, right? The hard work there in life, I think, is huge. The hard work there is huge. The things you carve out to do something that you love, man, it's important. I wish there was a way for me to communicate that to more people, but I am grateful that there's so many people already out there communicating that and doing a much better job of it than me. But I want to be a part of that too. Like I long to be a part of that. I long to be a part of the cause, if you will, out there helping people overcome their fears and, really experience what it feels like to work hard at something, through the ups and downs. And the only way you can get someone to experience that, in my opinion, is to first help them find something that they do love and that they are passionate about. Because none of us are going to go through those ups and downs and the pains and the struggles unless we do. Most of us, right? Unless we do love it. And I would love to be able to help encourage people to do that. And I guess that's what I'm trying to do here on this episode, right? Just encourage you to do that. And I don't know what it is for everybody. It's something different for everybody. But if you're listening right now, you're probably able to think you've got something in your mind that you're going, you know what, that is something I could work a little harder at and probably would benefit more from. And I'm hoping that if that's you and you're hearing that and you can think of that, you can visualize what that is right now, then I'm hoping that if nothing else, I can encourage you to take that next step, whatever that is, right? Like maybe it's, you've got to invest a little more money into it, invest a little more time into it. Maybe you've got to set out some time right now, today, to do something to get the ball rolling or whatever. But if there's something that you really enjoy doing and you've been, for whatever reason, holding back, waiting for something else to happen, waiting for the stars to align, get to work, to work and take it to that next level.
And this kind of falls back to what we've spoken about before when it comes to motivation.
Oh, big time. It's like right there. Yeah, because it's more when you need it, right?
Yeah. It's like we said, when motivation, it's different for everybody. For me, it's, I just have to do it. I'm going to hate probably doing it, but it's just like, if you just do it, your motivation will come, whether it's afterwards, where I'm like, oh, thank God. Like working out, like we said, I get more motivated after I work out than I do before the workout.
Oh, absolutely. Motion creates emotion.
Yes.
Motion creates that emotion.
Take the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. But yeah, same thing.
Putting in the hard work. So if I'm taking it to what I said, my whole running goal, I started this not even that long ago. When did I start this, Nick? I don't even remember.
Oh, it was 3:00 yesterday.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I think I started it like on Monday. No, probably Sunday. I think Sunday was the day where I was like, I just want to see how fast I can run a mile and stuff. And when I did it, I was like, oh, geez, I'm really slow at it, But
yeah, but you committed to yourself you were going to do it anyway.
But it was even my goal where I knew, like, I think it was Monday. I can't remember what day it was. That I knew running my mile, I was like, I'm just going to run and I'm going to do the best that I can. Right. And, what, are you typing, Nick?
Sorry, I'm working. I'm multitasking. Can you hear me typing?
Yes,
I'm getting some emails from work and I'm just trying to make sure
I thought you were typing in the doc. I'm like, I'm not seeing anything. I thought maybe my internet had gone out for a second.
Dang, my mic's pretty good.
But it can't hear you swallow like mine.
No.
Okay, so back to what I was saying was that when I started this whole little, I just want to see how fast my mile was. I used to be very passionate about running, back in high school and stuff. And I just kind of fell out of it. And then lately I've been doing just a little bit more running, where it was like running 400 meters. And then we went to 800 meters. And I just kind of got curious to where I was falling at nowadays. So then that's when I set my goal of, okay, I just want to see how fast I can run a mile. So the first day I did it, I think I did it in like, we did 12 minutes and 45 seconds. It was Maria and myself. And we walked, a little bit of it. And then that's when I saw that time, I just thought, like, I know I could do better than 12:45. If I take out the walking and I just do a light jog, I could do it. So then I did that. And then I got my mile down to 11 minutes. So I thought, okay, that's okay. But I want to go faster. I think I could, on the last 100, 200 meters, I'm just going to sprint and, make up for any time. And then today I did my mile run. My goal was to do 10 minutes today for 1 mile, and I made it in 10 minutes and 1 second. So I was a little bit like, dang it, so close.
Nice.
But
pretty good though.
When I'm running, like, I constantly, so I got my music going, right? And I typically play the same song over. So I'll measure out the song. So if I know the song is 2 minutes and 30 seconds, because I don't look at the clock when I run. I don't like doing that, because then I just like a different form of measurement for time. So there's a song that I listen to, and it's like 2 minutes and 40-something seconds. So I'll hear it once, and then I'm running. I'm like, okay, that was one song, And then when I start to feel pain, where it's like my breathing, and I need to control my breathing, or if maybe my legs are starting to give out, like my ankle gave out today, almost fell. It's kind of funny.
Got to be careful.
My ankle just gave out, and I was like, oh, okay. It didn't hurt. It just like quit working for a second. But I didn't stop running. So that's the key. When I'm running and I start to feel like it's like getting painful for me, you know, like my hamstrings want to give out or something like that, I just repeat to myself of like, okay, do you just want, 9 minutes or 10 minutes of pain, or are you going to turn this into 13 minutes of pain? And I'm like, don't stop. And I talk to myself like
perspective.
And that's honestly where I want to get my miles down. Sorry, guys, this has turned into Audrey's workout podcast, I guess.
I'm liking it. Very educational.
But that's what, like, I want to get my miles down to 6 minutes. Like, I'll be so happy if I get it down to 6:45. Because then I'm going to say, look, I did a mile in 6 minutes and 45 seconds, and it was only 6 minutes and 45 seconds of pain versus 10 minutes now, you know?
And it's not going to be that painful for you as you continue to work,
Yes.
continue to do it.
Because that's my first goal, right? Is to get under 6:45. And then I already have my next goal lined up of like, hey, now I want to get 2 miles in within 11 minutes. Like, that's the major goal. Because I think that would just be awesome.
Yeah, hey, I hope you can pull it off. I know you can. I just hope you can do it sooner than later.
Yeah.
So we'll all be rooting for you. And I respect the fact that you're putting that level of accountability on yourself, that you're willing to put it out there in podcast land, which potentially means millions of people could know about it, or 0.
Let's go with millions. Sorry, guys. I seriously turned it into my workout podcast. That's not
I like it because it's hard. It's hard work, though. I mean, that's what we're talking about, and and what's great about it is like we brought up hard work, and that's where your mind went. And I think that's a perfect example of, there's going to be people listening, that are probably thinking the same thing. Like, I need to put some hard work into some things in my life, and really get connected with something and get I don't know, for me, it's like the creative juices, flowing, I've got things like, my music, like,
yeah,
do the kind of work that you put in for, for the necessities in life. Do that, put out that level of effort for you, because you should be that important. Do the hard work on the things that again, are going to be, you're going to benefit from. If you're only putting in hard work when you have to, right, and not really where you should, then I don't think you're going to really experience the joy and the happiness that comes from doing things for you. And it could be, like Audrey said, working out, running, exercising. There's something that happens, right, when we accomplish and we do things, period. But when we do things for ourselves, it's just like next level clarity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that makes you an even just better person to the people in your world. And I mean, really talk about being kind, talk about correcting the perspective there. That really does, I think, just makes the world a better place. You taking time to love yourself enough to say, I need to put in some hard work in whatever this area is in my life, because I know that's where it's, I know that I'm going to find joy on the other side of that. Do those things. Don't be afraid to sell out to the idea of taking care of yourself in whatever way that is, right? Maybe it's starting that business, or maybe it's you've started the business and you're at like this weird place and you're considering, man, maybe I need to just quit. I can tell you that if you're thinking about quitting because it's hard, if you really love what you're doing, I think you need to just keep grinding it out. Right? If you're thinking about quitting because you don't love it and your heart's not in it, then yes, I would say, okay, that's fine. Just make sure you're not confusing the two.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's absolutely okay to say, hey, my heart's not in this, I need to move on. I just think it's unhealthy to say, hey, I'm quitting because it's getting too hard. And only you can be honest enough with yourself to determine which of the two that is.
Yeah, that's the difference. I think for mine, like, I always kind of quit because Like I'm thinking back when we were kids or something, like with soccer, with like Girl
Well, I think
Scouts,
that's natural. Yeah, at that
right?
age especially.
But I mean, I still kind of find it sometimes. Even I can even say in my, you know, my
In
professional
your late
career.
30s.
So yeah, my late 30s. Yeah, I can even say it though. Is when something starts to get hard. No, I shouldn't even say that. It's not even hard. It's like when something for me starts to just become
Uncomfortable?
unchallenging, I guess.
Boring?
Yeah, like when I plateau, instead of
Mm-hmm.
pushing forward, I'm just like, okay, if I could go and challenge myself to work harder to reach that next level, but then it's like if I see something else where I'm like, oh, the grass is greener over there, I want to try that. That's
Yeah,
I got like that squirrel mentality.
absolutely. I get that. I get that. But I do think that, like, just think about where you're at right now. You are working hard right now on you, right?
Hmm.
You're exercising, working out. I mean, that's a big deal. And I can tell you that I'm sure the Audrey that does that and has been doing that consistently, the Audrey that you are today, you're just the mental clarity that you have from that, it probably makes it just easier for you to make those other decisions, when it comes to different things where you're not,
Yeah.
um, you don't find yourself kind of going, man, do I really want to do this? Should I do this? Because you already know that you're already exerting the energy into that one thing that you really like and enjoy, and you feel good about that. So you can kind of like, I don't know, stand on that, at the, you know, I don't know when you work out being at the end of the day, but you can stand on top of that, just kind of knowing, okay, I'm doing this thing and doing whatever else it is that I'm going to do. It's got to be something I really enjoy and really want to do, or I'm not going to give it my all. Right. I think
Yeah.
plain and simple, it's when you don't know, when you're not doing that, it's when you're all over the place.
Hmm.
Right? You've got to do something. I know, and I could say that because I'm all over the place. I'm still all over the place, but I love the things that I'm all over the place with, and so I do them constantly. Right? I play my music all the time, and I like doing the podcast. I love RC cars. Right? I love being a dad. I love being a husband, and I try to do all those things to the best of my ability. And things, even having a relationship with my friends, like I'm willing to put in the hard work that some of those relationships are going to come to, right?
Yeah.
Because I know that that's going to change everything for the better. Um, but it's just, I don't know. It's so easy, I think, for some people to understand, and I think it's so complicated for others. And it's for me, it's always been it's been very complicated for me, just growing up and still now trying to figure that out. The difference between, hey, am I just a quitter? Am I lazy? Right? Or am I actually just really good at knowing when to stop, when this doesn't deserve my attention anymore? Am I getting better at redirecting my efforts and my energies to the right things? Because there are a lot of things all of us, we do need to stop doing too. There's a lot of things that, just like we're capable of putting in the hard work, like you said, to not do something, right?
Yeah.
We're capable of doing that too. We're capable of working really hard to not work. There was a comedian that I was watching. He did a really good job of depicting that. I want to say it was
I think I know
what's his name?
exactly which comedian you're talking about too, because he popped
Is
into
it
my head.
his last name's Reagan? I think.
What's the joke? If it's the guy
Okay,
who didn't
so
want,
yeah, he's like, so I'm working with this guy. They're working in like a warehouse, or whatever. He's like, hey, I got this really cool place where we can go and we don't have to work. And it's like this journey through like long story short, he ends up like, the guy tells him, if you go back here, we move this stuff out of the way, go back, we can climb back here, and then we can slide in between this wall. And so they stand there and there's crunched in between the wall, and they're standing there, and the guy looks at him and he's like, pretty cool, huh? He's like, better than working. And he's like, uh put a lot of work into not working, right? And that, I think that's a good way of, that's a good analogy, because we all are doing that in some fashion. I'm doing it.
yeah,
There's things that that all of us have that, where it's like, I could probably just not do that anymore and then have more to put towards things that I really do want to do. Just so much easier said than done,
But it's a muscle, right? It's something you got to constantly work out.
yes, that's a good reminder.
Mm-hmm.
The perspective's got to stay in check. And that's, again, why when you make decisions to go, you know what, I'm going to push through. I'm going to do this. I'm going to stick with it. It's important that you're intentional about the type of content you're taking in. Like, who are you listening to, right? And I think that's important too. It's easy for us to convince ourselves out of things that do deserve our hard work. And so it's important to make sure that you're, I think you've got people in your life that really do genuinely, wholeheartedly have your best interests at heart that you can go to and talk to about those things. Those are the people that love you enough to tell you, you need to keep working,
Like, speaking of, like, practicing or working out the perspective and everything, because I saw it in the doc where you referred to the movie Yes Man.
Yeah, I forgot I made a note about that.
It's a great example. I mean, I like how the movie depicted it, where it was kind of like he says yes to everything, and some things it's like, okay, that's a little drastic, but it's easier to say yes, right, than to say no.
In a lot of cases, it is. And I can tell you, for me, I'm such a weenie. I always have been.
What?
I always have been. I've always, I'm not a big deal now, but there was a, big portion of my life where I was just like, I didn't want to go in any water. I would avoid it like the plague. And it was stupid. I mean, it was real to me, obviously. It wasn't stupid at the time to me. It was real, but it was I made it real. I convinced myself of these real fears and worries and concerns. And it was almost like I got upset with other people that weren't willing to see what I was seeing. But then it's like, you can't see my imaginary friend. Screw you if you can't see my imaginary friend. But that's kind of how it was. I don't know. It's really weird, but I just didn't want to go in any water, and it was stupid. And I put in a lot of work. You get my point?
Yeah.
To the extreme where it was hey, that would be a great vacation place. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to, who does that? I don't want to go in the water. Right.
Well, and why didn't you want to go in the water?
I had some stupid phobias from when I was younger, from when I almost drowned and, in swimming. So I don't know if I ever told you that. It was my third or fourth time going to swimming lessons.
No, I never.
I had missed. Yeah, it was at Lime Street Park. Remember Lime Street Park?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, so that's where I got my swimming lessons. And we had missed a bunch of lessons, but I guess back then, they didn't track that.
They just didn't care.
Yeah, and so yeah, we were doing this exercise, I guess, that they had done 3 or 4 times in the deep end, and it just didn't work out for me. And then I don't know if you know, but I almost drowned at Aunt Dee Dee's house when I was real little.
No.
Yeah, I fell into the deep end there, and I don't remember who jumped in and saved me, but I remember I was really young, and I was on one of those skateboard things that had 3 skateboards with wheels on it that you could ride around.
3 skateboards?
It didn't have 3 skateboards on it. I'm thinking of a newer version of it now, but at the time, I think it was probably a scooter, but not a normal scooter. It was a weird toy. It had 2 skateboards
I know what you're talking about.
But they were skateboards, but it was a scooter skateboard.
Yeah.
But it had more than 1 skateboard on it. I think it had 2 skateboards, if that makes sense. It's old. I can picture it in my head. It was purple or I don't know. But anyway, I remember riding it and somehow slipping off. I was little. I shouldn't have been riding. I was little and slipping off in the deep end. Anyways, all this is so dumb. I feel like I'm sitting, talking to my therapist. Yeah, I'm going real back. Keep peeling back the onion.
And how did that make you feel, Nick?
Yeah, it was scary. It was scary. But I remember the image of, I can't remember who it was. One of our cousins, though, jumping in and grabbing me and pulling me out. But I put a lot of work into avoiding something that, had I just said yes, would have been little to no work, really. Right?
Yeah. Once
I said yes, it's just getting in and just I'm just moving with the current at that point because everybody wanted to go swimming. Everybody wanted, and instead I was the the sourpuss. Like, I don't want it's stupid now looking back. Like, I put so much work into that. Why did I do that? Right. To avoid how much fun it is to just go out and have fun. And, these days I'm way beyond that, obviously, but, I don't know. Just weird.
I never knew that had happened to you.
Yep. It's weird how deep we get on this in podcast land.
Guys, I told you. I think
I'm
I know
afraid
my
of the
brother.
stuff you're going to learn about me as we continue to talk about this. Yeah, I know it's only an hour, but golly, they get pretty juicy, don't they?
Yeah.
I think it's good.
I think mine was. I was always terrified of swimming in the deep end, but it was so dumb because I knew how to swim.
Yeah, you just wanted to have that. You wanted to be
security.
Sure, right?
Yeah, I wanted to have that security of like touching. And then I actually remember it was with our cousin Andy and Aunt Betty, and we were like, I think we were in Antioch. I can't remember, but I was so jealous that because Andy and I are similar in age, right? I was so jealous that Andy knew how to swim, and she was such a great swimmer. Probably still is, And I was so jealous that like I couldn't swim with them in the deep end. And I'm pretty sure it was Aunt Betty, but she just straight up pushed me in the deep end. And when I was like swimming back to the edge, I was like freaking out and screaming, and she wouldn't let me hold on to the edge. And I was like, I'm drowning. She was like, no, you're not. You're swimming. and it popped in my head. I was like, oh yeah, I am swimming. And like, I don't like swimming above water. I prefer swimming, under the water and stuff. And she was like, swim under and go to the, the shallow end if you want to touch. And that's what I did. And it just clicked. Where I'm like,
so easy.
Yeah, I was like, I already knew how to do this. Are you kidding me? And when we came back, I think I got my swimming lessons at Lime Street Park too. I'm pretty sure. You? I think so.
Good old Lime Street.
I just remember.
Yeah, I've got a lot of stories about Lime Street Park, most of which I can't share on podcast land, but I got a lot of stories.
I like that. I got most of my memories at that where we used to play soccer out in what was that other park with all the ducks, the pond and
Hesperia
stuff?
Lakes.
Yes, that one.
I don't know if they still call it that.
I think so. God, don't feed the ducks, guys. They will kill you. Just saying. Oh, they're so vicious now.
Well, I'm sure all of our Hesperia listeners appreciate that tip.
Prove me wrong. If anybody listening that still lives in Hesperia and goes to Hesperia Lakes, let me know if the geese and the ducks. It's not the ducks. I should say the geese. It's the geese that are crazy.
Are they still out for blood? She just wants to know. Are they still out for blood?
Like, are they wearing blue bandanas, red bandanas? Like, where are we at with this?
Get us an update. Yeah. Who still goes to Hesperia Lakes? Tell us how it is. Is it still legit? Do they still do soccer games there?
Oh, that was the best field. And the bees coming at you, Oh,
yeah, the whole experience.
Hard work, guys.
So, yeah, again, right? I love it because our topics barely get touched. We avoid the hard work, right? We're talking about hard work and we're avoiding it altogether in the same breath. So that's why you listen to the Stretch It Out podcast right there. That's why you do it.
You never know which rabbit hole we're going to go down.
That's right. Talk about perspective.
Yeah. Should we start taking guesses, guys? What's next week's episode rabbit hole going to be?
I know. Who knows? We just come up with it on the fly. Unless we get some input from the listeners, which we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you listening. Appreciate all the feedback we've been getting. Appreciate all the help that we've been getting on our social media because we're trying to turn that up. So, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, we're doing it because we enjoy it and we love it. And we love hearing from you guys. Even especially when we're able to provide a nice little laugh for everybody. That's always a good time.
Yes.
All right.
And I mean, I kind of want to touch base on maybe giving you a sneak peek that what Nick and I want to do in the future. Maybe next episode.
If we can figure it out. Yeah. We're gonna talk more about it.
Can we give them a glimpse now, or should we make them wait, hold their breath for a week? What do we want to do?
I think we're going to talk more about it to figure out how we're going to do it before we actually, do it. But I think it's worth mentioning So then you guys can maybe get excited about it. Who knows? But we're thinking about trying to venture in the live stream arena, do some videos, maybe some Facebook lives. I don't know. We've talked about maybe having everybody have both of you guys get on and view. I'm totally kidding. It's so mean because we have a lot of great listeners, but I think that it feels like we're so intimately connected with each of you that it does feel like we only have a few, if that makes sense. But
yes,
the idea is to connect with you guys in more than just the podcast land space. Get some video out there. We thought about doing some Facebook Live where we Facebook Live and you get to actually join us live while we're recording the episode. So you're basically hearing the episode live. But what's cool about it is we're going to record it. We're still going to put it up on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're still going to have it up everywhere you can consume it. But you will have been a part of the episode because you'll get to see, and we're talking about going live even before we hit the record button to record the actual podcast. So then our listeners would then be a part of, again, the whole process, right? So you'll be involved in when we're doing our sound check, you'll be involved in me doing the timing for the intro. We might even have our listeners involved in helping us pick who's going to do the intro, like who knows, but it would be cool. So anyone that happens to be available at the time that we're recording, you'd be able to jump in, join us on Facebook Live. I'm using Facebook Live. I don't know if that's even going to be possible because we've got to set it up so that you can hear both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know how to do that yet. But once we figure that out, that's, I think, the plan is to really have you guys be a part of that. We've got a lot of really good friends, family as listeners, and it'd just be cool to interact with you a little more as we're recording, get some feedback from you, and then again, have the actual podcast still be posted so you could listen to it. And you're actually listening to something that you were probably a part of, which I think would be exciting. So did I sum that up well enough, Audrey, baby sis?
Yeah, did we hit our 1 hour mark just now? No, I'm kidding. Yes, you summed it up perfectly.
Oh, gosh. We've got to be close. I know that.
But I love it. I'm honestly very excited for that, especially if we do it during quarantine mode because y'all get to see my hair quarantine style.
Yeah, I'll probably be wearing a hat.
Oh, come on. You got to show the quarantine hair. No one's getting ready these days.
Oh, I'll show it off a little bit for sure, but I'll definitely be wearing a hat.
Well, I hope you're ready for once we're done recording this because we are going to go Instagram live because drum roll. My drum roll sucks. There you go. There we go. Drum roll. I got stamps today, which means that Chris is going to officially get his gift card sent off today.
Yay.
And we are going to record or go live right after we're done recording this. And I'm excited.
To do that.
And I got
I'm pumped about that.
hair.
I'm pumped about it.
I'm pumped.
Chris is going to enjoy it.
I think I'm more pumped than Chris right now.
Because it's been 6 months I'm just kidding. It hasn't been that long. Feels like it for poor Chris. Every time I go outside, he's standing by the mailbox.
Starbucks is still open there, right? Watch it like, no, Starbucks closed down. It's no longer. The business went bankrupt.
Love it.
Oh my gosh, that'd be horrible.
So we're doing that right after this?
We're right after. So either get your hat on now or do it with quarantine hair.
Okay.
I got quarantine
got a hat
hair.
on.
It's such
got a hat on. I don't have a quarantine shaved face, but
yeah, but the whole point of quarantine is to look nice.
Yeah, it's right? Not. I don't look nice, so I'm nailing that for sure.
My face is a little bit sunburned, so been out in the sun a little much.
That's good though.
Yeah,
that's good. I don't have that problem.
You've been stuck at your desk all day long on the sunny days.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If I could get tan from computer monitors and laptops, I'd probably be pretty crispified.
Only on the front half, not the back.
Yeah.
Crispified.
Crispified, crispified. I don't know if that's a word, but it is now. Crispified.
Go put it on Urban Dictionary. Go put in the definition.
That'd be like a word often used in podcast land. So, all right, cool. So I'm excited then. We're going to do that live. We're going to do it live on Insta or on Facebook. How do we do that? How are we going live?
We're doing Insta, and I will...
how do you know how to connect me to you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It'll be both of us on the screen.
You already know how to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We can do Instagram
Fantastic.
live right now with the our listeners, the beautiful people of podcast land.
That is pretty cool. So all right, cool. All right. Well, that sounds exciting.
I know. I'm excited for it.
Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. We are just at our hour mark. I've got craziness going on in my house, as you can hear with the dogs barking. That means things are out of control.
It means someone's walking by the house.
Yes. So what else do we got? Anything we want to wrap this up with? I'll real quick give a shout out to Giacomo for doing that awesome intro for us. He did that a while back for us and said I could use it however I want. So that'll be the first. That was just a little test run, Giacomo. Who knows where you're going to end up now? But.
I love it. I guess I just want to tell the listeners, something this week, especially if you're in quarantine mode. When you were listening to this podcast and something popped into your head, there's your challenge right there. Apply yourself. Apply the hard work. It's not as bad as it's. Promise.
Yeah, go all in. Go all in on that thing that you've been hesitant to go all in on, or keep working hard at that thing you've been working hard at, and maybe you're thinking about stopping. Keep going.
Yes.
You got this. Cool. Hey, we appreciate all of our listeners. We love you guys so much. Looking forward to chatting with everybody again, hanging out with everybody in podcast land next time around. And we'll see you guys on Instagram Live. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Instagram Live?
Yeah,
all right.
Come on, man.
See y'all on Instagram. Peace.
Bye, guys.